Yep, I too am doing a New Year's resolutions video. I made one of these videos last year, and I think it was the very first time I've ever posted anything that has to do with New Year's resolutions, I believe. And it was a lot of fun. I typically do make New Year's resolutions even if I don't share them. And some of the things I'm gonna mention are things that I have been working on already in the past few months, and it's just something that I wanna continue to do. This is not a hard and fast rule. If you wanna make New Year's resolutions, do it. If you don't want to, don't do it. It's really not a big deal. But I do find that for me, it helps to kind of recenter myself at the beginning of a new year. Let's talk about YouTube to start with, because that is why we are all here. Everybody here who's watching this video has at least some familiarity with YouTube, and some of you might be a little bit like me and be a little bit obsessed with YouTube. I can't remember exactly what I said my goal was last year, but I think it had something to do with posting every week. That's definitely something that, even if I didn't say it out loud, it was something that was one of the goals that I wanted this year, to post every week. The past few months I've changed that a little bit. I haven't been posting regularly every week. I've missed a few weeks in there, and that's okay. Like, I've told myself that I'm going to miss this upload because I don't have something of quality to upload for you, or I don't have something that I'm really excited to upload, so I'm not going to. So this year's New Year's resolution kind of follows along with those lines. What I want to sort of resolve to do is to continue to post regularly. I'm not necessarily going to continue my schedule. I have been doing Sunday videos for I think like 2 years now. I've been posting every Sunday. Let me know in the comments if you like this, if you prefer a different day, if you don't care about schedules. For someone like me who's not a full-time YouTuber, I don't really think it matters necessarily when I post. So I'm not gonna make it a resolution to put myself on a schedule. I may not, I don't know, but it's not a resolution. I just want to continue to post good content regularly. And I especially want to make sure I'm posting content that I am excited about and that I'm passionate about. The next resolution that I have is, of course, about my novel and about my writing. You guys know, if you follow me on social media, and I believe I've also said it on YouTube, but I finished my novel revisions, my first full novel revision, at the end of November. So the novel is done-ish. I sort of knew this already, but I've realized it in the past couple of weeks that I've been mulling things over a little bit more. The novel is just a little bit too long. Even though it's a decent size for YA fantasy, plenty of other authors could do it if they're already published, but for someone who's not published, who would like to get into traditional publishing, it's probably not best to start with a whopper of a novel. So I am currently working on sizing it down. It's not gonna be a full revision like the one I just did, starting from the beginning and going chronologically, but I do need to go through and trim and skim. The other couple of writing things that I am resolved to do in 2019 are to write my query letter and my synopsis. And I also, in 2019, am going to be plotting out a potential sequel. I don't know if I want to jump right into the sequel and start writing it. I do think I want to focus more on getting the first book completely polished, but I know that there's more that the story has to offer. It can stand alone with the first book, but there's just so much more that I want to delve into. I would like to get the full detailed plot written in 2019, and then I will make the decision, I guess, if I want to jump straight into a sequel, if I want to write something else, or whatever happens. But I definitely want to plot out the sequel while I have all these ideas brewing. The next resolution I have is to go to more classical music concerts. So from orchestra to ballet to opera, whatever there is in Paris, and there's pretty much everything, I want to do more of it. If you follow me on Instagram, you've probably noticed that this year I have gone to far more concerts of all sorts than I did the year before. I've been playing violin since I was like 5. I've been playing an orchestra since I was, I don't know, 8 or something like that. So I've been going to orchestra concerts literally as long as I can remember. Classical music is a huge part of my life, and the only reason that I hadn't gone to more concerts when I first moved to Paris was just because I was still figuring stuff out. I was figuring out the different subscriptions you could get, the best times to get tickets, how early in advance you should or should not get tickets. I've now figured a lot more of that out, so I have been able to go to a lot more concerts this year. I already have I believe two operas booked for next year. I haven't bought any orchestra stuff for next year, but it's definitely in the plan. Another resolution that I have for next year is to continue to read in both French and English. I'm not resolving a certain number of books or anything like that. I just want to continue this trend, and I'm actually in the middle of so many books right now. I have never been the type to start many books at once. Like, maximum, I think I've read 2 books at one time, if you don't count like stuff for classes and stuff. But right now I am in the middle of a record number of books, I think, and they're both in French and English. I have 2 French books that I'm in the middle of and 2 English books. One is an audiobook, so I guess that one's a bit different. I've got the Silmarillion, which I have not read for a couple of months. I kind of just parked that one. I started ages ago and I just haven't really gotten through that much. I enjoy it, but it's just super dense. Then I've got the Phantom of the Opera. that in original French. This one is a little bit on the challenging side for me. The language is a little bit archaic and the style is different from what I'm used to, so it's not the easiest read. And then of course I've got a YA. I have Looking for Alaska by John Green. This was actually a birthday gift from my friend Ava, and I wasn't planning on starting it right away. I did want to finish at least one of the books I was already in the middle of, but then I started it. So yeah, I am reading 4 books right now, but at least it's a good healthy balance of 2 French, 2 English, and that's what I want to continue to do in 2019. Maybe fewer at once, but continue to read both in both languages. Another thing that I both want to do and very much need to do is to be kinder to my eyes. If you do follow me on social media, you might have noticed I wear my glasses all the time anymore. I used to be a daily contacts wearer. I'm practically blind, by the way, without some sort of prescription. So yes, there is a prescription here. There has to be a prescription here, or I would like trip over everything and walk into walls. But yeah, I wear contacts and I used to be a daily contacts wearer. I so much prefer contacts to glasses. I just feel like the glasses get in the way. But my prescription is really bad, and I do have a series of eye problems that I'm not going to go into on the internet, but I have a ton of problems with my eyes that has basically resulted in me having like 3 or 4 different types of eye drops and gels that I am currently needing to put into my eyes every single day. So it's kind of gotten to an extent that I've realized I do have to wear my glasses a lot more than I planned. Yes, I'm wearing contacts right now, but I put them in to record usually because I don't like the glare on my glasses, and then I take them out and I put on glasses again. So most days I do wear glasses as much as possible. I have to be kinder to my eyes, and that has been a journey this year, and it's definitely something that I want to make a priority in 2019, both because I don't want to go blind, but also because it's just, you should definitely just treat your body with respect, and if it's rejecting what you're doing to it, like my eyes are and were, then it's time to do something different. So being kinder to my eyes is on my 2019 resolutions. Next year, I am also resolved to use more of my wardrobe. So I have a decent sized wardrobe. I know I've talked about before with moving and everything like that, I have skimmed down my wardrobe, but I have clothes, I have stuff for most occasions and all of that. But my problem is I default really easily to the stuff that I like most, or that's most comfortable, or that's easiest to style. So I end up only using a portion of that wardrobe on a regular basis, and then I use the other stuff when mood strikes or when I have a special occasion or something like that. But there's a lot of stuff, special occasion wear, that I only use for those special occasions that I could be wearing on a daily basis. It's not formal wear, it's not fancy, it's really stuff that I could easily be using on a regular day. I just don't, because it's easier to put on a sweater that I love and that I've worn like a million times. So what I want to do in 2019 is to make sure I use all of my wardrobe whenever possible, obviously excluding the really formal dresses and the summer wear and winter and all of that, but just use all of the wardrobe that I have at my disposal. Next, let's talk about self-care. So this has become a huge trend in 2018, but for good reason. I know some people kind of hammer on it a little bit too hard, and maybe you're a little bit tired of hearing about it, but I've started to think about it more and more and to realize the benefits of this, especially for people who have a lot on their plate, who tend to get a little bit stressed out once in a while. That's me. It can be really good just to think about a few of those things that make you feel all warm and fuzzy inside, and to try to make them more of a regular routine so that you can feel revitalized after a big week or before a big week. For me, what this often is a face mask or a hair mask or painting my nails. None of this stuff is something that I ever used to do regularly, but I love doing it and it makes me feel better, and especially if it's before a big week, I feel good. I feel like my skin's great after a face mask, and my hair feels so soft after a hair mask. When I do my nails already for at least a good few days, hopefully. Sometimes I chip them or smudge them before they're even dry, but the idea is that they will look nice for at least the next week or so. And it doesn't have to be that long. It can be an hour on a Sunday that you just dedicate to doing something like this that makes you feel good. And I have started trying to do this, and it has helped actually a lot. It's made me feel really good. You'll notice my nails are all pretty right now, I hope. Maybe they're a little bit chipped, but still, I feel great and I love having my nails done. So next year I definitely do want to continue to make this a part of my weekly routine, even if some weeks it's a little bit shorter. It's only 15 minutes of a bit of self-care on the weekend. Some weekends maybe I can make it an hour or even 2 hours of self-care, just whatever I need depending on what's going on. I think it helps my stress levels, it helps recharge and revitalize me for the week to come. It does make me more productive. And of course there are the benefits with like face masks and hair masks and stuff like that, that it also makes your skin slash hair slash whatever a little bit healthier. So I think it's safe to say that it definitely deserves a spot on my 2019 New Year's resolutions. I could probably make this list last a very long time and continue to list things off because There are other things that I would like to improve or to change or to sort of update, refresh in 2019, like trying new recipes. I thought about putting on my list because I do want to try new recipes, but I think I'm gonna cut it off there because the ones that I've just talked about are definitely the highest priority. I think they're the things that mean the most to me, that will have the biggest impact on my 2019, and they're the things that without a doubt I want to get done this next year. So I'm gonna leave it at that. Honestly, I'm really excited for what the new year is gonna bring. I think I do this every single year, but just looking at everything that's gonna happen, and especially there are a couple things that are happening right at the beginning of January for me, and I will fill you in on some of those a little bit more, maybe in my next video, maybe in the one after that, but I will be telling you a couple of changes that have happened for me. I know I've teased at this before, and I'm sorry I'm being one of those YouTubers, but they don't really affect my YouTube too much, but they do affect my personal life. So I will give you some little details very soon. But basically, I'm just gonna get the new year off to a different, fresh, revitalized start. Why not? I'm really starting to ramble though, so I'm gonna cut this video off here. Thank you guys all so much for watching as usual, and I will see you in the new year.